everybody, and welcome to How to Make a Mario Plush Video 2.0. This is an updated, more advanced version from the series I made in 2014. The series will consist of 5 parts. Part 1 will be preparing for your plush video. Part 2 will be filming. Part 3 will be editing. Part 4 is a little more advanced and will be focusing on visual effects and special effects. Finally, Part 5 will be uploading your video and managing your YouTube account. In this part, we will be focusing on filming your very own Mario Plush video. Without further ado, let's get started. After you have gathered all your supplies required to making a Mario Plush video, it is time to film. Of course, we're going to need a room that's bright enough to film in for the video. Lighting in this tutorial is very important. In the morning, this room receives direct sunlight. As you can see here, it is very bright. This area right here is not good because it is too bright and the camera can't adjust. This area over here receives a good amount of sunlight and isn't completely direct. This is where you want to film. It's important to know your house and when and what time direct sunlight will hit the rooms of your house. You will need this information to plan for filming your videos. In the morning, this room here doesn't receive direct sunlight. This is because the sun is facing the opposite side of the house. This room is very cold looking and darker and can be used for some scenes. As you can see, the front yard is pretty bright because the sun is directly hitting it. This room here is fairly bright in the morning, but it's at its brightest in the afternoon. When I am filming in the afternoon, I usually use this room because the sun seeps directly through these 2 windows. The brightest room in the morning is this one here. The sun comes directly through the window on the right. Because it gets so much sunlight, I have to get really good results when filming in this room. The main point here is to show how lighting can really affect the shots in your videos. Know where the sun is at all times, and know which rooms get the best sunlight. The next thing I want to talk about is sound. In this room, you can hear it is really loud, so I'm going to close the door to prevent any noise from seeping through. When I film, I need about total silence, so most people who are usually in the house are outside or in the basement. Finally, it's time to start filming our very own Mario Plush video. Before we start, I would like to say that I recommend using manual focus instead of autofocus. As you can see here, it works a lot better for plush videos. Alright, first shot. Wait, Mario doesn't look very good. That's because he's being hit with direct sunlight. Let's move him over a bit. Once the camera adjusts to the exposure, Mario will look a lot better. The sun through the window creates a really awesome lens flare. I usually pan my camera downwards to create a good intro scene. When introducing any scene, panning a camera looks a lot better than just keeping the camera still. Try experimenting with different angles to create more awesome effects. When focusing on any character talking, it's a good idea to center the camera on the character's face. One thing you shouldn't do is focus on the legs or the arm or the hat or whatever. Usually focus on what the main part of the character is. One thing you shouldn't do is film without holding a character. Another thing is shaking your camera excessively because that looks very bad. On to the next scene with Luigi. This shot looks particularly good because of the lighting in this room. Wait, let's rewind just a second. Where should Luigi come in from? Definitely don't start in frame. Start out of frame and come in for Luigi. Another thing you shouldn't do is film from behind the character and watch them do whatever action they're doing. As you can see, this looks really bad. Also, do not put a character down and switch between characters while talking. It looks really bad. A better alternative to this is using a tripod. Simply attach your camera to the tripod. Now, you can hold your characters with both hands. A good tip when finishing a scene is to pan the camera out so it can easily fade in post-production. Our next scene will be with Junior. We're going to start up here so we can pan down to Junior. Once again, try experimenting different ways to pan. The characters Bowser or Junior look really well in this room because the sunlight illuminates their orange. Down here though, Junior looks really washed out. It doesn't look as good down here. Now, we're gonna pan into this shot with Junior talking. When talking with the character, you should try and move with the rhythm of the speech. It can be a bit tricky at first, but don't worry, you'll get into the hang of it. Another main aspect of filming is jump cuts. Jump cuts are basically switching between character to character during a speech segment. Of course, you're going to have to stop the recording and switch characters. Jump cuts are basically inevitable when filming by yourself. Before we wrap this up, let me tell you how to hold your plush character and how to record properly. Okay, first things first, let me tell you a few tips on how to hold your plush characters. Each can be a bit different in their own way. For Junior, I usually hold from the bottom with 4 fingers on one side and 1 thumb on the other. This is the best way to hold Junior. You can also hold him from the shell, but holding him from the bottom is a lot easier and works better. Next up is Luigi. For Luigi, I usually have 1 thumb on the front. My other fingers usually go on the back. As you can see, this way of holding Luigi is extremely versatile and usually works for most cases. Okay, last but not least is Mario. For Mario, I usually place 1 thumb on the front of Mario's chest and the other fingers on the back. I use 1 finger to control Mario's hand. Another way of holding Mario is with the fingers on one side and a thumb on the other. By twisting the legs around, you can easily control Mario. Okay, next, I want to go over the proper way to record with your camera. First of all, I usually look on the screen, the digital touchscreen, on the back of the camera when filming for best results. When you're ready to record, just click that little red button on the top of your camera. One of the biggest things to remember is hit the record button, count to 3, and then start acting. You can edit this later in post. When you're finished with your shot, wait till 3 and then hit the record button. This is all to make sure the camera doesn't accidentally clip off any action. That is all for today, but be sure to hit that like button for more Mario Plush tutorials each week. Also subscribe if you have not to EpicMarioBros for more awesome videos like this. Thank you guys, and bye.